burden's on us. It's no longer.
Now we talk about newspapers and the issues. Okay, that just went backwards. See if I can get to.
You can escape. You don't have to be with it.
Whoops. Okay.
There you go.
Woohoo! We talk about newspapers, but the fact is the future lies in user-driven content. How many of you tweet? Christine, Grant, okay, you folks familiar with Twitter? It's one of many social networks that are out there. A new one crops up every day. And this one demands that you keep your messages no more than 140 characters. Not words, characters. And it's an important thing for us to remember as well, because the changing face of media, the number of media that are turning to Twitter, both as a source for them to post news as well as a source for them to gather news, demands that we Twitterize our content. We need to make sure that everything that we say is concise and consistent, in that in 140 characters or less, or as few words as possible, we're getting our message across. Also in this environment, not all reporters are trained journalists. A lot of them are citizen journalists. Anyone that has a blog is basically a journalist. Anyone that shows up at a master planning session is a journalist. They can post something on their blog, they can post something on Twitter that's going to be seen by 300, 400, 5,000 people and can be fed and shared with others virally. The good news is UCF has a very good program in its Nicholson School of Communications that's training future journalists, some of the bedrock principles, even though they're going to be working in more of a digital age. But as Roger said earlier, everything you say is fair game, whether it's in an interview or just in a public meeting or in a meeting like this.
I think a great example, I'm sorry, Roger, of that is just from this fall with tailgating. You were at the public meeting and everything that was said there was posted online, but what really kind of lit the flame was Coach O'Leary at a fan, pick up your tickets, let's meet the coach kind of thing. Somebody asked him, hey, what do you think about the tailgating change? And he just said, hey, I don't think it's the right thing to do, and I'm going to fight for you fans. Well, he didn't know somebody was videoing that. That got posted on a site someplace, and then the Sentinel picked it up, and then suddenly it's Coach O'Leary is in conflict with what the university's saying, and so that's, I think, a prime example of you have to be very careful.
And that's
Dan, let me just make that. There are virtually no telephones made today, except the ones that are designed for senior citizens who have a hard time using phones, that do not include a camera, because it's cheaper for them to manufacture them all with that chip.
mm-hmm.
And people carry what, she's shooting HD television in the back of the room with a $149 camera. That can be, by the way, this will be on YouTube by the end.
And you don't even need a camera, you don't even need a phone now. I mean, you can have somebody that's going to a meeting that has an iPod Nano listening to music, and they're not listening to music, they're videotaping you.
I don't necessarily consider those people journalists, though.
They, however,
They do.
so.
Yeah, but
The question, and that's why we put quotes around it. They're not trained journalists, but they're getting information out there about you. And they're sharing what it is that you're communicating. The message that you're communicating, they're sharing with the world. And a lot of times, they might even have bigger audiences than some of the